Hello everyone, in this video I will demonstrate how to solve cost volume analysis problems. So this is problem number 5 on page number 218. So we have been given the demand per month, which is 30,000 pens, and fixed cost is $25,000 a month. So fixed cost remains constant regardless of the volume of the output. An example of its fixed cost includes rental cost, property taxes, equipment cost, heating and cooling expenses, and administrative tools. So that's constitute your fixed cost, and it does not change. Even if you're producing 0 item or many items, still it will remain the same. Then small v represent the variable cost, and it's given 37 cents per pen, and variable costs, as the name suggests, vary directly with the volume of the output, and the major components include usually material cost and labor cost. So it varies as per the output. So the more you're going to produce, more will be the variable cost. Less you're going to produce, less will be the variable cost. Okay, and R is the revenue per unit, which is $1 per pen. And I have given you the legend here, which you can go through it. FC is the fixed cost, R is the revenue per unit, V, small v is the variable cost per unit, TC is the total cost, TR is the total revenue, P is the profit, and QBEP is the break-even quantity. So let's go through certain formulas. TC is the total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. This is my total variable cost. V is the variable cost per unit times the Q. That gives me total variable cost. And that will give me total cost here. So total revenue equals revenue per unit times Q, which is the quantity. So we should always also do here, Q is quantity. Okay. So profit will equals to total revenue minus total cost. And if you put in the respective terms into the formula, and this will be RQ minus FC plus VQ, and then you solve it further and you'll get finally this formula here. So profit equals Q in parenthesis R minus V minus fixed cost. So that's the profit formula. And break-even quantity or break-even point is the point where you neither incur any loss or neither incur any profit. Okay, so it's a no profit no loss point. And to find the formula, to derive the formula, basically if you just put P equals 0 here and solve for Q, you will get this formula here. Okay, so we are not going to derive it, but I'm just going to give you a brief hint here. Okay, so that's a break-even point. Often you will be required to compare two alternatives. In this case, we only have one, but let's say you have two alternatives and need to choose one. In that case, a QBEP for two alternatives, given alternative A and alternative B, will be given by this formula. Fixed cost of alternative A minus fixed cost of alternative B divided by variable cost of B minus variable cost of A. Or it could be the other way around as well. Okay, so this is just these are just the formulas here. So here what we have to do is first find the break-even quantity, and then we have to find the price the pen must be sold to obtain a monthly profit of 15,000. So let's first produce the chart that we are going to graph. Okay, so this will be equal to here. So we'll have quantities, and here we'll have total cost, and here we'll have total revenue. Okay, so we'll start with 0 and the step of 5,000. Okay, and let's do 10,000, and then we can simply drag this thing down. Let's go all the way to 60,000 or 65,000. So total cost will be equal to fixed cost plus VQ, right? So fixed cost here is $25,000. So I will fix this one right? Plus variable cost is 37 cents. I will fix this cell as well, and times my quantities that I'm producing. So this is the way you have to do to plot the chart. Okay, total revenue equals R times Q. So our R is $1, so I will fix that one, and my times my quantity is 0 here. Okay, so as you see, we are not producing anything, but we are still incurring 25,000 fixed cost. So then you can highlight this one and double click on this thin plus solid plus sign. If you double click it, it will fill it down for you, and then this is basically what we need to plot the chart. Okay, fairly simple. And these are in dollars, so I will highlight them, and I will say this are in currency here. Okay, so we don't want any decimals, so that's a complete chart here. Okay, now to plot this one, we'll simply highlight this one here. Okay, and I'll go to insert, and we'll insert simple scatter plot, this one with straight lines. Okay, so this is our chart here. This is what we were looking for. Make it a little bigger. Okay, now this point is called break-even point. Okay, at this point, as you see that there is no profit, no loss. This is my total revenue line. Initially revenue is low and costs are higher, but after a while revenue becomes more and costs are less. And this is your profit zone, right? So here you're going to make profit because revenue is more than the cost. Here you are going to make loss because total cost is higher than the total revenue. Okay, so we have to find this break-even point, and it looks like it's around $40,000, little less than $40,000. So let's find the break-even point, and then we have to plot that here. So this is the way we will do it. So to plot any point on the chart, we need X coordinate and Y coordinate. So let's call it break even point, my X coordinate, and break even point of Y coordinate. And then this is my break even point label, which will help me to plot this point on the chart. Okay, so how you calculate the break-even point here? X is the quantities, right? So here you have quantities here. So break-even point is simply fixed cost over revenue minus variable cost. So that will be equals to my fixed cost. I will say divide by revenue minus variable cost. Okay, and then I will simply make them fixed, highlight them, function F4. Okay, and then hit enter. So this is my break-even quantity. Okay, so 39,682 units. Okay, so we have to find the revenue or the total cost, and both are same, right? So at this point, whether you're calculating the revenue or you're calculating the total cost for your Y coordinate, they are going to be the same. So let's do the total cost way. So total cost is going to be our fixed cost, which is this one here, fixed cost function F4 plus this quantity times my variable cost function F4. Okay, so that's my total cost for break-even point. And if you want to find the total revenue, just to showcase you that it will be equals to this times my revenue, right? So that's what total revenue is, right? Our total revenue is R times Q. So my R is this one, function F4. So they are the same. So either you calculate total cost or you calculate total profit, total revenue. At this point, they are going to be the same. So it doesn't matter which one we are using. So I will delete one. This is just to showcase you, or we can leave it there, doesn't matter. So let's calculate, let's do a label here. So we call it, break even point, and this is the way you should do it. Okay, include that in double quotes, because this will appear in your on your chart, okay, at the break even point. Okay, so and then we are concatenating two strings. So this is BAP and this is my point here. Okay, and it's better to use round function. So I will simply go here, say round function. Okay, and I'll make sure I use round it to 0 decimal places. Okay, okay, what am I doing wrong? Hold on. Okay, so here I'll simply say round open parenthesis, and after this I want 0 decimal places. Okay, so this also we can do it here. I will say use round function. All right, so you have to be careful if you press the tab button. Okay, make sure you are doing the right thing. You have to put the formula in a correct way, otherwise it won't work. Okay, this one here, we since we were playing with it, it took out the fixed cost, so we have to put the fixed cost back in here. Function F4 and plus, so now they are the same. Okay, and this is in dollars. So these are in dollars, so let's say I'm just will say this is currency. Okay, and again we don't need a lot of decimal points here. So, and this is my break-even point. So my break-even point is 39,683 units, 83 pence. This is how many we have to make in order to break even, which means at this quantity we are not going to make any losses or any profits. Okay, something you have to keep in mind. So no loss, no profit point. So how to plot this point here? Okay, now the way this works is, you always plot a series. So this is called total cost series. Total cost series is this one, and then it plotted total revenue series. Okay, so we have to a series is basically a collection of points, right? So you see all these points, this is a series because it's a collection of points. A series may consist of only one point, right? So if you say that my series is only this point, I just want to plot these two, this point with these two coordinate, x and y coordinate, I should be able to plot it, right? This is what is my break-even point is here. So right, this is the point I want to plot on the chart here. So what we need to do here is, I'm using Mac, but the process should be very similar. So you go to chart design here, right? Select data. So that's where you have to select the series. So you already have total cost and total revenue, and you can see the references there. I want to add one more, and series name is going to be my break-even point, right? And my X value is going to be this one, and my Y value, so I need to get rid of this one, is going to be this one, and say okay. Okay, now it has added this one, it has added this point, but it's not visible here, right? So we need to format that point. How would you format that point? Well, we have to go to the format tab, and in this box here we see a series that we plotted, right? BEP. So we have to click on this one. Now you see that that's being highlighted, right? And we have to format this one. So usually this is the Mac again, but should be very similar process. So I will go to the format pane here, and you can right click on it and go to the format as well. And let's go here. Let's say marker is what I'm interested in. So marker option, I want to use built-in, but you can make it a little bigger. Let's say this one, or make it a little bigger. Okay, so that's getting bigger. I want to fill in with a different color. So let's say I want to fill in with this color, or maybe some other color. You can choose that color if you want. Okay, and we don't want any border. Okay, and I want to show the data labels. Okay, the last thing I have to do is show the data labels. So this is done. So how to show the data labels again? What we have to do here is click on this chart, select this chart. So we have chart menu here. Go to chart design, add elements here, and we have to go to the data labels. Let's say we add it below. This is not what I was expecting, but I want to add it for a particular point here. So I will select this one, chart below here. Okay, now we can format this one again. So you can just select this one, format text box is already there. Click on text option here. Okay, label option. Okay, so we want series name here. We don't want y values, we don't want anything else. Okay, so this is how you should do it, right? This is your break-even chart here, right here, right? So at this point, 39,683 units, you will break even, which means you will neither incur loss nor incur profit. So no profit, no loss point. Okay, that means if you want to make a profit, you have to make more than this quantity here, right? You have to produce more than 39,683 units. If you are going to produce less than this quantity, then you will always incur loss, because in this area here, total cost is more than total revenue. So you have to make profit, you have to make more than 39,683 units. So if I ask you, okay, if you're producing 50,000 units, would you incur profit or loss? Well, you can just go here, 50,000, this is a profit zone, so you are going to make profit. If you are producing 30,000 units, will you incur profit or loss? Well, 30,000 is here in this area, and here total cost is more, so you are going to incur loss. Okay, something you have to keep in mind. So that's how you would do it. Number A. Number B, what price must pens be sold to obtain a monthly profit of 15,000? So we are going to use this formula here. Profit equals QR minus V minus fixed cost here. So let's do that. So this is my part A. I will say a break even point. So I'm going to say B here. Calculate R. Okay, for P equals $15,000. Okay, so we know that profit equals, what is the formula here? QR minus V. So Q, say QR minus V, and then minus fixed cost, right? So minus fixed cost. Okay, so let's put in the values. 15,000 equals, we know the monthly demand, which is 30,000, right? 30,000. If you want to find the R, minus V is $0.37, minus fixed cost is $25,000. So this equals, if you bring 25,000 on the left hand side, it becomes positive, and the left hand side becomes 40,000 equals 30,000, or minus 0.37. So if you bring if you simplify this further, you'll see that you can have R minus 0.37 equals 40,000 divided by 30,000. Okay, or we're gonna say R equals, we'll simplify this further, so 4 divided by 3, right, plus 0.37. Okay, and that will equal to $1.71. Okay, so R equals $1.71 per pen. Okay, so in order to make a profit of $15,000, a pen must be sold for $1.71. Okay, so that's your finding. Okay, so it's very simple. This formula is very important. You will use it in many different scenarios. Right now profit is given. Sometimes you need to calculate the profit for a given quantity. Sometimes you have to calculate the variable cost for a given profit and quantity. Most of the time you will be either finding profit or quantity or revenue, okay, depending on the situation. So this formula is very important, you have to keep in mind, and this is how you should plot it. And it's always better to add bells and whistles here. So let's say chart design, we are going to add an element axis, let's say horizontal axis. Oh, that's a chart turtle. Axis turtle, horizontal. This you can say quantities here, Q. Okay, let's add another axis here, we call it this could be total cost or total revenue. So this is gonna be dollars. Okay, amount in dollar. Okay, and this is, we can call it cost volume analysis. So this is how much you need to do in exam as well. Okay, so you have to keep this in mind. So with this, I will stop my video lecture here. Just want to make sure you can see all in one thing, but it's going to get too smaller. Okay, I'll leave it here. Okay, with this I'll stop my video. Thank you very much for watching.